A spectacular Sunday for softball in the SEC, and it is a gut check moment as we welcome you to Sherry Parker Lee Stadium in Knoxville. The Ole Miss Rebels looking for a statement sweep on the road as number 4 Tennessee tries to defend its home turf. Great to have you along. Mike Patel, Riley West, and our outstanding crew with you. And Riley, a big game in terms of momentum. Yesterday, Ole Miss has won the series, and now it's time to find out what these teams are made of.
SEC Sundays are what shows a team's heart and their guts. For Tennessee, this is a big test for their heart because they haven't been swept at home since 2008. And for Ole Miss, they've already shown heart. They've had a gauntlet schedule, and they finally have 2 wins to show for it.
First 2 SEC wins of the season for Ole Miss, whose pitching has been good, but the defense, Riley, has really dazzled.
Ole Miss is 16-3 when they do not make an error, and this weekend has been a testament to that. But it does start in the circle with their pitchers trusting their defense and rolling a ton of ground balls. They're all down ball pitchers, and Tennessee did not make an adjustment throughout the first 2 games. They were continuously rolling over.
And so through the first 2 afternoons, Tennessee with 23 offensive ground ball outs. You see the offensive numbers there. Nothing flashy and exciting, but the pitching's been pretty good. No one's had to dip too far deep into the well.
Both Tennessee and Ole Miss have been able to ride with their starter throughout the entire game, and because they haven't had to touch that bullpen, that means no one's been getting to the pitchers. There hasn't been a ton of hits, and there hasn't been dominant performances. Today, Erin Newer gets a start for Tennessee. She is an up ball pitcher, meaning that she can work it at the knees and at the chest with that rise ball and also use it as an off speed. But for her, she has to get ahead to be able to go to that strikeout pitch up in the zone.
Erin Newer, the sophomore from outside of Buffalo, pitching for the 2nd time this week. Through her 2nd no-hitter of the season on Tuesday night, a run rule win over Tennessee Tech. Kennedy Bunker in the box, and we are underway here in the series finale. Bunker, the headliner at the top. She had a loud start to the weekend with a leadoff homer in Friday night series victory. Percy Yamas, the lone Rebel, with multiple hits here this weekend. A couple of 2-1 wins for Ole Miss, who came into Knoxville 0-9 in SEC play. Running into buzzsaw after buzzsaw, but the Rebels have put it all together and won a couple of tight ball games on the road at number 4 Tennessee.
And Coach Traxel said throughout the entire schedule, those 4 SEC starts playing a lot of top 10 teams with Texas and Oklahoma, Tennessee, as well as Alabama, was that they have to learn something from each of those games, and eventually it will show all of their growth. And this series so far has shown all the growth in the world for Ole Miss.
Foul ball on the left side, that is down. 2-2 on Kennedy Bunker here at the top of the order. A big day in terms of response for the Tennessee Lady Volunteers. You see Jamie Traxel there down the third baseline, the winningest head coach in Ole Miss softball history. Took her just over 3 seasons to eclipse 100 career wins. She led the Rebels to the first ever Women's College World Series in program history last season. Yeah, now finding some momentum at the right time. Payoff pitch on the way to Bunker, who stays alive. Erin Newer, the 3rd arm in this triumvirate of a Tennessee pitching staff. Sage Marjetko tied a season high with 12 strikeouts on Friday night. Yesterday, Carlin Pickens goes to distance and gives up just 2 hits. Neither of them walk away with a win, so can Newer be the one to deliver?
And Bunker and Newer both in this at-bat battling, but Bunker's doing a great job as a leadoff, showing her dugout and the batters behind her as many pitches as possible. But Erin Newer does have to be careful. Bunker was able to hit a home run in game 1 because of a missed pitch up in the zone, so she really has to spin it.
Another payoff. Kennedy Bunker stays alive again. The senior at the top of the order for the Rebels. Bunker, a transfer from from Fresno State to Ole Miss. Took over the leadoff spot in the series finale a couple weeks ago against Texas and stayed firm at the top since. And a well-earned walk for Kennedy Bunker to begin the day.
You can see how all of those first 3 tough SEC schedules have helped the Ole Miss team as a whole, but also batters like Kennedy Bunker. She's seen elite pitching for 4 weeks in a row, and this at bat she continues to battle, understands if she just fouls off more pitches, Erin Newer might miss one and there get on base for a walk.
Strike one to Mackenzie Pickens, who showed bunt for a moment. Bunker does not have any stolen bases over her first. Was an aggressive secondary as the sophomore stands in. Pickens looking for her first hit of the weekend. She did drive home one of the 2 Ole Miss runs yesterday. A fielder's choice in the 2-1 win. Gets it down this time. It's the third baseman, Emma Clark, who fires to a covering Ella Dodge. And Pickens does the job, moves a runner into scoring position.
A great job by Pickens to be selfless, give herself up. She just gets the ball down on a pitch that is down, but Emma Clark at third base doing a great job of coming across the diamond, using her voice to vocalize and communicate that that was her ball from the start.
Gives Percy Yamas an RBI opportunity. She takes strike one. Yamas had a breakout freshman season for Ole Miss, second team All-SEC last year. The lone Rebel selected to the preseason All-Conference team. And the only Ole Miss player with multiple hits this weekend, a couple of singles. As the sophomore's down 0-2. Oh, 2 on the way. No chase, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Yamas.
And what I love about Yamas is her hitting position. Once she gets that front foot down, the way she takes pitches, she really uses her eyes and trusts them, and that's why she's able to stay composed throughout all of her at-bats.
And she's worked the count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes against Erin Newer. A sophomore for the Lady Vols. Newer started 11 times last year, 18 total appearances, went 6-4 with a 2.32 ERA, has really taken a step up as a sophomore. 12-1 coming into today, ERA anchored at .81. On a pitching staff that has been really good, the best true staff in college softball. And her payoff pitch is strike 3 called. Erin Newer's first punch out of the day.
You can just see that growth from Erin Newer. We talked about it the entire year, but from at bat to at bat, she walked previous batter, but then went right at Percy Yamas, that 3-2 count for the strikeout. And you can see with the Percy Yamas face, Erin Newer spinning it. It might not have looked like a strike coming in, but once catcher Elsa Morrison framed it, it was right on that corner.
Tennessee, we see it there, leads the country in ERA and WHIP. The pitching has not been a problem as Maddie George bounces it to second and Erin Newer strands a runner in scoring position. She works around the leadoff walk, and now the Tennessee offense will try to wake up as they come to the plate in the first. Emily Boyer gets the ball for the second time. The senior transfer out of D2 West Texas A&M got the win Friday night, her 8th of the season. A complete game effort for the Rebels to really set the tone for the weekend.
She has set the tone for the weekend, but she wasn't even at her best. She gave up 7 walks, 7 free passes. Today, she's looking to start every count ahead, but she works the ball down in the zone like we talked about. Ole Miss's defense has been playing behind them, trusting her defense. She's a down ball pitcher, but she's going to need that changeup like she did on Friday night to be able to throw these Tennessee batters off balance.
First batter she'll face is Sophia Knight. And the Boise State transfer takes strike 1. Different look offensively for Tennessee today. And Riley, when you look at that, there's one message: hit.
Absolutely. You see a couple changes. Maddie Rutan not in the lineup. Emma Clark moving over to third. Mackenzie Butt now in the lineup. She came off the bench as a pinch hitter throughout the weekend. So with this lineup, it tells me that Coach Karen is trying to score runs. She might be not her best defense because she trusts Maddie Rutan so much at third base, but she is looking for them to put the ball in play and hit it hard.
Tennessee coming into the weekend 10th out of the 15 league SEC in terms of scoring, despite all the sterling pitching numbers, and they've only put up a run each day to begin this weekend. The run against Boyer Friday night was a bases loaded walk that she issued. Sophia Knight, the NCAA hits leader from last year, leads the team in hits this season. An RBI double yesterday, and she bounces it to second, where Mackenzie Pickens is ready for out 1. A lot's changed over the last 25 years in college softball. There's one constant: Karen Weekly at the helm of the Tennessee Lady Volunteers. 9 trips to the Women's College World Series, including a national semifinals appearance last year in 2025. Saw there she's a 4-time SEC Coach of the Year, including back in 2024. She led the Lady Vols, being the first SEC team to ever reach #1 in the national rankings. That was back in 2007. Tennessee spent much of the first few months of the season ranked #1 in the country. They've hit a speed bump here after starting 26-0, dropping 4 of their last 5 SEC games and just a game above 500. But Karen Weekly has said the adversity for this young team may not be all bad, as Ella Dodge stands in with a 2-1 count.
Adversity isn't bad as long as it doesn't happen while you're in postseason. You want to learn now how to get over these road bumps and road blocks, because when you're in postseason and it could be your last game, you want to know that you can come out on the other side.
Dodge lines it right to Cassie Reisner, is ready at short, 2 down.
And for Tennessee, you have to look at those at-bats as wins. You haven't been able to put much together, but Ella Dodge leading the way. She gets a ball that is more up for Boyer with that drop, and she stays through it, palm up, palm down, and hits a line drive. Now, sometimes line drives, you hit them right to people, but there's something that doesn't fail you. So Tennessee needs to take that being on plane and being level to their advantage.
And Alana Leach wastes no time. 2-out base knock for Leach. Slides up in the order today. Starts at DP and starts the offense.
Alana Leach attacking, and Alana Leach has been leading this lineup throughout the weekend on just hitting the ball hard. This pitch is on the outside corner, and because she hits the ball hard, uses her bottom side, her hips, her rotational forces, she gets a good barrel on the ball. So sometimes it doesn't have to be the best pitch to go for.
Puts herself aboard for Emma Clark in the cleanup spot. The strong, athletic sophomore. Tied for second on the team with 5 home runs this year. And she ropes that foul. Just foul down the left field line.
Although there's 2 outs, I'm already seeing a little bit different of an approach and at-bats from this Tennessee lineup. A couple more line drives today already than you have seen in that first game against Boyer. Like I said, line drives don't fail you. Hitting the ball hard doesn't fail you, even if you don't swing at the best pitch. And Alana Leach and now Emma Clark just getting pitches early in the count.
Late there, 72 off the right arm of Boyer, and it's 1 ball, and 2 strikes. Emily Boyer, the Division II National Player of the Year at West Texas A&M last year, unanimous All-American. 69-10 in 3 seasons there at West Texas A&M, 2.39 ERA in over 454 innings, and now making the leap to Division I. Her 2-2 is fought off foul.
For Emma Clark, it's really interesting. When she gets to 2 strikes, she no longer steps. So she narrows her focus down, she takes the timing aspect out of it, and all she's doing is using her eyes to get her barrel on the ball.
On the payoff pitch, Clark fouls it away.
But sometimes as a hitter, taking away that timing can also affect your swing because you use that timing to get everything else in line. So Emma Clark does it really well. As a batter for me, that was tough for me to transition to in the middle of my at-bat.
Eighth pitch of the at-bat. We will see a 9th. Now Kennedy Bunker wants to talk things over with her battery mate, Emily Boyer. Boyer Friday night in the series opener went the distance, 7 innings, 1 run on 3 hits, and those 132 pitches. You mentioned it, Riley, 7 walks and 3 strikeouts, but trusting the defense behind her and was able to give up just 1 run and pick up the win.
And for Emily Boyer, that has to just give you a boost of confidence that I don't even have to be at my best and I can still limit runs. Now today, her goal should be to attack the zone, no free passes, and then maybe she can even go for the shutout.
Emma Clark awaits another payoff and works her way aboard.
Just a great at-bat by Emma Clark, seeing double-digit pitches, making Emily Boyer work. I talked about it, of not using that stride when she gets to 2 strikes, allowing her timing to be on point. You can see here on this angle, she just lifts the heel just a little bit. And for hitters to see the ball best, you want to get to your hitting position. And that allows Emma Clark to get there and stay there.
Crowd cheering on Gabby Leach, who stands in with 2 on and 2 out here in the first. Tennessee has never led this weekend. It has been all Rebels from the jump. Ole Miss winning its first series in Knoxville in program history. Like Riley mentioned it earlier, Tennessee has not been swept at home since 2008. They have not been swept in general since 2018. Certainly a big gut check, bounce back day. 2-1 on the way. Leach right back to Boyer. Oh, what a catch. And Emily Boyer flashes the smile as she should.
Already a different look for these Tennessee hitters, hitting the ball on a line. Gabby Leach just gets a pitch down in the zone, but Boyer showing some athleticism. You might not have to be able to see the ball, but hey, when you get your glove up, good things happen.
Always something on the line in the SEC, but here's what's at stake today. Ole Miss on Friday night got its first win in Knoxville since 2008. First ever series win here in Knoxville, and trying to sweep Tennessee for the first time in the history of these two teams, whereas Tennessee is nearing 2 decades without being swept at home. And Riley, it feels like a time to reflect and really see what you're made of for both of these teams. Ole Miss trying to make a run towards the postseason, and Tennessee has hit this speed bump. How do they respond with their backs kind of against the wall?
I just know that Coach Weekly today, when they were probably doing film, reading the lineup card, she told them that today shows their guts. When I played for her, she would always talk about showing up for your fans and the people who always have your back. So I know that's in the back of these players' minds. But then also for Coach Traxel, after the Oklahoma series, she said their message going into it was, how much guts do you have when it gets really hard? And it has been really hard for Ole Miss. And yesterday, it was almost like a breath of fresh air for them to understand they went through all of those hard series, and they finally got those 2 wins to show for everything that they've learned and went through.
All culminates here today as Cassie Reesner stands in with a 2-0 count against Aaron Newer. Reesner, the Kentucky transfer, her first season now at Ole Miss, brings a lot of SEC experience to Oxford. An Ole Miss team that's got 16 new faces, 10 transfers along with 6 freshmen.
And what a welcoming for all those newbies in the SEC. You're not just playing an SEC schedule, you're playing probably one of the hardest in the history of the SEC. They played Oklahoma, who is leading the country in home runs, probably going to break that home run single season record. Then they played Texas, defending national champions, and now Tennessee with one of the most elite staffs in the country. So they've seen just about all of it.
Slow roller to third, Emma Clark up with it. There's one out here in the second. Now you mentioned Texas, Alabama on Ole Miss's schedule as well this year, and the Longhorns are getting ready to start a big 3-game series against number 7 Alabama on Thursday. Friday night's game is on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Coverage begins at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central at Rhodes Stadium in Tuscaloosa. A massive Thursday, Friday, Saturday series in the SEC and in college softball.
Mayan, I'm going to need to purchase another device to watch all these games on because I don't have enough. There's so much going on.
That's off of Mackenzie Butt's glove, but Dodge gets it to her in time. 2 down.
What a swing by Rachel Connors to get good barrel on the ball, but that hot corner is always so tough. Mackenzie Butt there at first base. Ricochets off her glove, but because Ella Dodge, the second baseman, also starts moving when the ball is hit, anticipating that the ball is coming to her, they're able to get the out at first.
Tennessee defense, which had technically just 1 error yesterday in game 2, but a 3 miscue third inning that led to 2 Ole Miss runs. Clean so far as Leilana Applin takes a strike, 1-1.
When we talked to Coach Weekly, she mentioned it herself. She said, I saw 3 errors. So they might not be in the books, but for Tennessee, when you understand that you had 3 miscues, it starts to be one of those ripple effects.
Aaron Newer now a strike away from getting out of the inning and setting down 6 in a row. The sophomore spins home a 1-2. Bella Fall this time. All around defense around the infield for Tennessee. Aaron Newer has retired 6 in a row, 2 scoreless in the circle for the Lady Vols. Was a historic start to the season for the Tennessee Lady Volunteers. 26-0 for the best start in program history. They ran through some great ranked opponents early in the year and never blinked. Of course, the pitching staff that is the best in the country certainly lived up to the mark. You see the offensive numbers there, outscoring opponents 192-23 over the first few months of 2026, and now trying to tap into some of that early mojo here late in March. A Tennessee team that has its eyes on a second straight Women's College World Series appearance, perhaps. They're trying to capture that elusive first national title.
But for Tennessee, once they hit that Mississippi State series where they were challenged, Coach Weekly said that their freshmen kind of had their first ever uh-oh moment where they woke up to that elite pitching. She said that first 26 games, especially the first month down in Clearwater, the freshmen were eager to play. And now that they've settled in and they've hit their first adversity, it's been tough to kind of climb out of that challenge.
That 26th win came at Mississippi State back on March 13th. It was a pinch hit go-ahead home run from Mackenzie Butt, who's at the plate now, before Tennessee suffered its first loss of the season. But with plenty of power, a transfer from Boise State, where she was the Mountain West Freshman of the Year, 22 home runs, 77 driven in last year. The 7th freshman in NCAA history to hit more than 20 homers and drive home more than 75. Pure athletic power. And she draws a 5-pitch walk to begin the Tennessee second.
And with some of the at-bats Mackenzie Butt has had throughout the weekend, that's an impressive at-bat for her to kind of change that mindset. She was swinging at a few balls off the plate, 1 ball, 2 ball, even on the line. And there's 2 different types of hitters when a team is struggling. The hitters who try and get too aggressive, and then the hitters that get a little bit timid. And Mackenzie Butt was one of those players who was swinging out of her zone.
Elsa Morrison takes a strike, 0-1 on the Tennessee freshman catcher. Knoxville kid stayed home, top-ranked recruit in the state of Tennessee. Looking for her first hit of the weekend. And you mentioned the approach, Riley. That's something Karen Weekly's preached the last couple weeks, really. We saw the splits a minute ago, the last 8 games since that record-setting start. Felt like players were getting out of themselves a little bit. Everyone was trying to be the hero, and that the mentality can be contagious both ways. When it goes good, it can go great. On the flip side, when there's no real consistency offensively, it can be tough to find the spark.
It can be tough. And then once you acknowledge that there is a problem, you aren't competing at the level, you know how as players it's hard to not overanalyze that and continue to think about it and make the game harder than what it is. So you can kind of see Tennessee has been pressing a little bit to scratch a few runs across, but when you're pressing, you're putting more pressure on yourself, and it does get contagious that it makes it that much harder in a game that's already tough as can be.
No doubt about it. 1-2 on Morrison. As Emily Boyer will now try to work around traffic for the second straight inning. It was a web gem liner that she snared to end the first. Almost one where the glove gets in the way trying to protect herself, and she left 2 aboard to get out of the inning unscathed. She is someone who Jamie Traxel says brings a calm, humble approach into the circle. And while it wasn't in SEC play, she has been there, done that on big stages, pitched plenty of times in pressure moments. And really headlining an Ole Miss pitching staff that returned 0 innings from that Oklahoma City run.
And you knew Boyer was going to be one of those pitchers that needed to see more innings against elite hitting, and finally has been settling in. But returning no innings on any of your arms in SEC play, and as well as their schedule, they don't have any power for opponents until they got to SEC play. They were going to have some learning curves and some bumps along the road, but like we've been mentioning, they finally were able to put it together for the first 2 days of this series.
Defense has been good. Defense stays great. Almost a double play. Yamas off the bag at first. And so Morrison does reach as Cassie Reisner is quick-footed up the middle.
Cassie Reisner has just been soaking up all these balls that come to her. This time she uses the momentum of the ball coming to second base. The only reason why she wasn't able to get that play at first is she didn't fully turn her body once she hit second base and kind of snapped down, brought Percy Yamas up off the bag just a bit. But she has been a vacuum at shortstop. And for this Tennessee team, I'm going to tell myself I'm no longer hitting the ball to these middle infielders because no ball has been able to get through.
It was nearly the third double play of the weekend for this Ole Miss team. As it stands, 1 on with 1 out, Taylon Holly bounces it on the left side. That eats up Ryan Starr, and everyone's aboard. 2 on for the Lady Vols.
And right as I started to talk about that Ole Miss defense, especially their infield on those ground balls, that ball kind of sneaks up and gets to Ryan Starr. It's off the bat of Tay Holly, but as a left-hander, when they swing, it has a different tail on it. So it might have been spinning a little bit too much for Ryan Starr to vacuum that up like we've been talking about, but she did make the right move of her first step up, knowing the speed of Holly and trying to throw the ball on the run.
So 2 on after the error for Bella Faw in the 9th spot. And what a breakthrough moment it could be for Faw. Great defensive shortstop. Faw now a junior. Missed a lot of time with injury her freshman season. Started 26 games last year. And certainly has a gold glove out there on the left side, but waiting for the offense to crank up a little bit. And she could give Tennessee the first lead of the weekend for the Lady Vols. On the 1-1, Faw takes ball 2.
And having played with Bella Faw, she is one of the smoothest I have seen. She makes hard plays look easy at practice, in games, and it's just really phenomenal to see. And as a pitcher, that's exactly what the type of players you want to play behind you. But her job as this 9-hole hitter is to always turn the lineup over any way she can. Coach Weekly said that her job is to not have a big slugging percentage, but she wants to see if she has a great on-base percentage, meaning getting hit by pitches, taking walks when they're given to her, but then when she's getting that ball over the heart of the plate, just going for it.
Triple threat, Sophia Knight waits on deck. And Bella Faw, who's hit well with runners in scoring position. On-base percentage, 279 on the year. She was a top 10 recruit coming out of high school. We'll head back to a 2-2 count.
I like that decision by Faw to try and do a little bit of a sneaky bunt. And it looked like she was trying to push the ball down first baseline. Percy Yamas is pretty close to the bag, further back. But with Faw's speed, she probably could have made it if she got it down.
Reesner gets there. There is an out at second. Ground assisted and scooped up by Pickens on the bag, but now runners on the corners with 2 down for Tennessee.
And I think I'm going to be continuing to say this entire game, like we've been talking about throughout the weekend, of this Ole Miss defense. Cassie Reesner saves a run by laying out for this ball, but also the added bonus of getting an out is essential. 2 outs, runners on the corners is a completely different ball game than with 1 out. But that was just so selfless to lay your body out. If that ball gets through, it is an easy run scored for Tennessee.
So Reesner, who leads the SEC in assists, with a big play there to keep Tennessee off the board. Lineup does flip to the top. Sophia Knight, who drove home the lone run yesterday for Tennessee, stands in a 1-1 count with 2 on, 2 out.
In mine, I've been talking about her saving that run diving, but I didn't even talk about the assist to Mackenzie Pickens. The ball rolled on the ground. All she did was flick her glove, and sometimes that's all it takes.
And she might get the Rebels out of the inning. Cassie Reesner, the reason Tennessee stays off the board. We've played 2 and we are scoreless. Between innings, Karen Weekly using a challenge to challenge the call at first base on if Sophia Knight was out or if she was safe. The crew took a look at it. Based on that look and a couple of others, the call was confirmed. Cassie Reisner did make another smooth play at short. So Tennessee down to one challenge remaining the rest of the way, and we are scoreless as we head in to the third.
And I think that challenge by Karen Weekly just shows how eager both sides are to score a run. There hasn't been any hard hits back-to-back throughout the weekend for both offenses. They've both been struggling. Just Ole Miss has been making fewer mistakes and then been taking advantage of punishing those miscues by Tennessee.
Okay, you make a great point there. That was the theme the first couple of days as well. Which team takes advantage of the mistakes? As you see Emily Boyer there talking things over with Nancy Evans, the second-year pitching coach for Ole Miss, on another beautiful day here in Knoxville. Evans, a 6-time national champion, 3 times as a player at Arizona, 3 more times as a coach. And she was a big part of the reason the Rebels made it all the way to Oklahoma City last season. Most outstanding player herself back in 1997, and certainly instilling a lot of confidence and a lot of growth in this new look Ole Miss stable of arms.
And I think you said it best with the word growth. This year has been a enormous challenge for them, and every single series they got better. The Oklahoma series, the scores were not a reflection of how well they were able to compete with that offense as a pitching staff. It was honestly in that last game just one swing of the bat, one grand slam, one mistake pitch, and if they can continue to learn to work the ball off the plate, elite hitters are successful because they don't let that mistake pitch go. And if Ole Miss can just not give any mistakes up, they will be in a great spot.
No real mistakes from Erin Newer. She issued a leadoff walk in the first, but has set down 6 in a row. Someone who's exhibited her own growth for Tennessee. Had a limited role as a freshman, still pitched a lot, but was learning the adjustment into the college games. And this is a Tennessee pitching staff that has taken that true staff approach really the last 4 seasons now. They have 3 arms and they rotate. Karen Weekly, pitching coach Megan Rhodes Smith believe could all be aces if they were by themselves on a different roster.
And Erin Newer, that .81 ERA. I know a lot of teams around the country who would be using her as a '1, but then for Tennessee, their staff is so elite that you're getting her on Game 3 on Sunday.
2-2 on Ryan Starr. And there are some of the numbers just downright ridiculous. When the 2-time SEC Pitcher of the Year, Carlin Pickens, has the worst ERA of the staff, you know things are going well in the circle for the Lady Vols. One high hop to first, but is there, one down.
Mayan, to your point of those numbers being insane for this pitching staff, the extremely low ERAs, it's hard to believe that they have those ERAs and they haven't won this series. And even coming off those 2 losses, so 4 losses back-to-back since Florida and now against Ole Miss. When your pitching staff is working the way that they are, your offense has to put up some more numbers.
Taylor Malvin takes a strike in the 9 spot. For Tennessee, the magic number has been 3 runs the last 4 years. They're 158-9 when they score 3 or more since the start of 2023. Just haven't really been able to do that. As Malvin takes a ball.
And I've been there before as a player where your team is struggling to put runs on the board, and it feels like the greatest challenge you've ever faced to scratch just 1 across, but you just have to simplify how you're able to do that.
Shallow center and caught. Sophia Knight with a good read, a good jump. There are 2 out as Taylor Malvin is retired.
A good job by Malvin to hit the ball hard right back up the middle as a slapper going to that hard slap. But then Sophia Knight in center field using that speed off the bat. I'm thinking this ball is down. Sophia Knight didn't even make it look difficult. Just that first read is so important on a line drive when it is not above your visor to immediately crash in, and that's exactly what Knight did.
Plenty of speed out patrolling center field. Shows some of it here in the third. Kennedy Bunker quickly behind 0-2 at the top of the Ole Miss order.
One of the first changeups that you've seen from Erin Newer, that coming in at 55. You see this with Tennessee's pitchers. Once you go through the lineup one time and you get out with your hard stuff or your best pitches, you start to work your off speeds.
Didn't go. 1-2. And Newer's 1-2 pitch. Laddered up 2-2 on Bunker.
I love the communication after that last pitch when the fans got a little bit rowdy based on the umpire's call. Erin Newer looked at catcher Elsa Morrison and she pointed, me, you, we got it.
Tailing down the line and foul past a diving Gabby Leach. All out effort in foul territory.
Gabby Leach and Alana Leach are phenomenal outfielders for Tennessee, but Gabby Leach getting the start in right field where she's been throughout the whole year. She has an amazing arm, but she also can make those diving plays. People always say don't dive towards the line, but that just shows how smart she is. It's a foul ball. That's when you do lay out towards the line.
Just in, and the count goes full to Kennedy Bunker, who has done a great job seeing pitches today. Worked her way aboard with a well-earned walk to start the ball game, and now has earned another full count after being down 0-2. Here's the payoff. Popped up. Taylon Holly in left, the sun shining bright, but it is no issue. And Erin Newer has set down 9 in a row. 3 scoreless innings twirled in the circle.
Hey, sports fans, the ESPN app has all of ESPN all in one place. Visit activate.espn.com to see if you have ESPN Unlimited as part of your TV package for no additional cost. It's all of ESPN all in one place. Sign up or activate now.
All right, Greeny, thanks so much. Joining you here on that ESPN app here in Knoxville. A splendid Sunday at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium. Series finale between Tennessee and Ole Miss as the Rebels go for the sweep, trying to sweep 4th-ranked Tennessee for the first time ever. And the Lady Vols trying to bounce back after dropping 4 of the last 5 SEC contests. Brian Patel, Riley West, our outstanding crew with you for this one, where Tennessee has the meat of its order, 2, 3, and 4. Some power sluggers coming to the plate. Ella Dodge, who lined out her first time, is in a green light count, 2-0. And Riley, so far today, plenty of outs, but louder outs for the Lady Vol offense.
They have been. They've been on a line. They've been line drives, but Ella Dodge hit that line drive last time to bat right back to Emily Boyer. It was a phenomenal catch by Boyer, but there she goes again.
And it is caught by Applin. Taken away again. Leilana Applin laying out for the first out.
And what a play by Applin. If that ball gets past her, that could be easily a stand-up triple. Ella Dodge, line drive to Boyer last time. This time takes the outside pitch, going the opposite way, letting it travel deeper in the zone. But that catch by Applin, the full layout, Superman style. This Ole Miss defense has been the key to this series win for them.
It's got to give you a lot of confidence in the circle when you know, no matter what, the team's had your back so far.
Absolutely. It gives you the confidence to just go right at batters and not try and pitch around them and be perfect. On the mound, all you're trying to do is get your pitch and execute it and play free. And that allows you, when your defense is working as hard as they have been behind Boyer, to pitch freely.
Well, there were just 3 strikeouts for Boyer in that complete game win on Friday night. Held Tennessee to a run despite issuing 7 walks. She got 13 ground ball outs. A lot of Lady Vols have made harder contact today. The Leather's been waiting on the other side. As Alana Leach sits in front, 3 balls and no strikes. She's got one of the 2 Tennessee hits today. She's been aboard twice.
That's one of the reasons why you see Alana Leach moving up in the lineup to that 3-hole. She has had some of the best at-bats all weekend, taking the walks when she's given, but also just hitting the ball hard. Her last at-bat, she took a ball that was down and outside and pulled it with power to right field. She's simplifying the game of just hitting the ball hard, and like I said, doesn't even have to be a perfect pitch.
Emma Clark hits it hard, down the line towards the corner. 1 hops off the wall. 2 in scoring position. It is a stand-up double for Emma Clark.
Alana Leach and Emma Clark back-to-back. They have been leading this Tennessee offense. Emma Clark gets that mistake pitch over the heart of the plate, a little bit of an off-speed, but because she stays in that hitting position and lets the ball travel into the zone, she's able to easily drive it to right field. Maddie George getting it off that 1 hop and then relaying it in, allowing the ball to be in the hands of the middle infielders to prevent that run from scoring. But Emma Clark fired up for her team, but as she should be. They've been needing that big hit to put them in better scoring position.
It is the 8th double of the year for Emma Clark, and Tennessee has its biggest threat so far today and maybe of the weekend. 2 on with just 1 out. 2 scoring in scoring position. Tennessee will bring on a pinch runner at third. It's McCall Sims who comes in. And it's Nancy Evans who comes out. To talk things over with Emily Boyer and company, and the Rebels will make a change. A new arm coming into the game for Ole Miss. Tennessee threatening with 2 on and just 1 out here in the 3rd. Day is done for Emily Boyer in the circle. She is responsible for both runners on here in the third. She goes 2 1/3 so far, does not give up a run. We'll see what the final line looks like for the senior right-hander. She passes the ball now to Lily Witten, who pitches for the first time this weekend. The junior, who was one of the very few returners on this team, redshirted last year after joining mid-year, started her career at Missouri, and now Lily Witten will try to stop the threat in the third.
And Witten is one of those players that Coach Traxel has said she wanted to get her more innings. It feels weird that we're on game 3, and this is the first pitching change that we've had to talk about, but Witten can really go in all 4 quadrants. What she really needs to work is pulling that trigger on her changeup to keep these Tennessee batters out in front.
5-0 on the year. She faces Gabby Leach, who takes ball 1.
And like we mentioned, she can go curve, rise, and screw, different quadrants, but that changeup is going to be her most important. And Traxel just wanting to get her in these pressure situations to get her more comfy.
Third most utilized arm for Ole Miss this season. She has started 6 games for the Rebels this year. Became the 6th pitcher in Ole Miss history to throw a solo no-hitter. Did that against Texas A&M Corpus Christi back in February. Infield in, 1-1 on the way. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. Sims the pinch runner at third. Emma Clark after the doubles at second. Now Tennessee in a prime opportunity to take its first lead of the weekend. 2-1 to Leach.
And you can really see Leach has been trying to get under these balls. This is where the situational hitting comes into play. With only 1 out, it does not take a base hit to score a run. So if she can get the ball deep to the outfield, she can secure an RBI for her team.
Payoff pitch. Lifted to left. Applin's crashing in. She's got it. No tag. And it is an effective second out of the inning.
And Wayne just stayed up in the zone against Leach. Like we said, her goal was to get the ball to the outfield, but in order to get it deeper in the outfield, she really has to stay on the ball as long as possible. That was really good communication from Applin there in left field. That's her responsibility to come in on a ball, so she has the correct momentum to prevent a run from tagging up and scoring.
Fouled away by Mackenzie Butt. Nothing in 1, with still 2 in scoring position here in the third. As Witten will try to clean things up and keep this game scoreless. Witten pitched a couple of innings in the midweek run rule win over UAB. Appeared twice last weekend in the Oklahoma series. An inning in 2 of the 3 games. Did not allow a run against the powerful Sooners.
You can really see her trying to work the upper part of the zone, giving Tennessee a completely different look. For the past 2 days and beginning of this game, they've seen all down ball pitchers, so it's going to have to be a quick adjustment for Tennessee's lineup.
What are you sitting here if you're Butt?
Something hard over the plate. She's got to give me something. It's 3-1. I'm in the driver's seat. I'm not going to swing at anything that's not on the heart.
And on this 3-1, Butt takes a strike.
And I do think that's a good take. The outside corner could potentially not get your full barrel on that ball, so I'm going to make Witten have to do something like that again in this count.
Biggest pitch of the game so far. 3-2 is ball 4 to load the bases.
Just another walk and another great at-bat for Mackenzie Butt. She's really showing an improvement from the first 2 games of this series. She was swinging at a lot of pitches out of her zone, now settling in, and in this pressure situation with runners on, and your team has been struggling to score runs when she needs her best at-bat most, she has brought it today.
So she works her way aboard. And now a meeting of the minds for Tennessee. It's the freshman Elsa Morrison who will bat. Talking things over with Karen Weekly, and now Craig Snyder in his second season taking over the offense. What do you think the message to his freshmen is?
Well, I could see Coach Weekly using her fist right at the belt area. She probably just told Elsa Morrison, see the ball at the belt and drive it. Simplify it as much as possible. Get that ball over the plate, and the pressure is all on Lily Witten, the pitcher. She has got to give her a strike, so to expect it as Morrison.
Catches the corner there, 0-1.
And for Witten, that is where you want to live in these types of at-bats and in these counts. A borderline strike that goes your way, just spotting it on the corners.
Ahead 0-2. Where will Witten go? Her 0-2 pitch.
And for Witten, that gives you information of Elsa Morrison is expecting a ball on the outside corner because she has stayed there. If I'm her, I'm probably going to try and do something up and tight, a completely different look, or even a changeup in.
Check swing, tailing foul.
And now she's teetering with it, moving it a little bit further off. Just a foot or two foul in right field. Morrison's eyes are definitely set on that outside corner. So Witten can either move it further out, or if she works it in, it's got to be up and out of the zone.
Lily Witten ready with a 1-2. Works it out, no chase. And the count evens. Bases loaded, 2 out in the third. The 2-2 is hammered to left. Tennessee's got the lead. Sims scores. Clark's right behind her. Here comes Butt. It's a bases clearing 3-run double for the freshman. Elsa Morrison delivers.
And the fans are on their feet. Elsa Morrison is hyped up. Lily Witten tried to work it out the entire at-bat and then just misses over the white of the plate. Applin there in the left field on her high horse, but just ball hit so hard, sneaks past her. You can feel a breath of relief from Tennessee's offense and as well as their fans. They were trying and trying with runners on scoring position this entire weekend, looking for that clutch hit, and Elsa Morrison, the freshman, finally pulls through for them.
Freshman comes up in a big spot, and Tennessee takes the lead for the first time this weekend as Morrison clears the bases. You can see they are loving it at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium. A sold-out crowd all 3 days. And they finally get their opportunity to erupt.
In mind, that was a pretty quiet stadium throughout that entire at-bat. You could kind of feel everyone holding their breaths, waiting to see if the offense was going to get it done. There's been so many opportunities for Tennessee's offense throughout this entire weekend with runners in scoring position, but to do it and then also do it with 2 outs, that's extremely clutch from the freshman.
Another freshman at the plate, 1-2 on Tay Holly. Swing and a miss, and Witten gets the punch out to put a close to the third, but the damage is done. The freshman, Elsa Morrison, delivers in the clutch, clears the bases for a 3-run lead. Through 3 in Knoxville, and the Lady Vols, Riley, finally get the lid lifter. The freshman Elsa Morrison with the bases clearing double to put Tennessee in front.
You could feel the anticipation that entire inning. Tennessee got runners on like they have been throughout the entire weekend, but they were looking for that clutch hit. And championship teams, especially what you call Sundays, championship Sundays, are built off of pitching, defense, and clutch hitting. It doesn't have to be a ton of hits, but it just has to be the right hit in the right moment.
That moment has awakened Sherry Parker Lee Stadium. Here is Mackenzie Pickens. Tough play. Newer cannot make it in time. And that's a leadoff single for Mackenzie Pickens.
And that's what you call kind of a swinging bunt. The batter fully swings, doesn't even show bunt, but because of that chop, it made it an extremely tough play for Aaron Newer, the pitcher, or potentially Emma Clark at third base. The speed of Pickens, she's athletic, she can get down the line. She just gives herself some space, almost like a slapper, then she'll have the time to get there.
Percy Yamas after the first pitch. Faw to dodge to first, not in time. But an out recorded up the middle. We'll see if you want to take another look. Tennessee only has 1 challenge remaining.
And to my blind eye, without the replay, that looked like they turned the double play. Great job by Faw staying low on that toss, and then Ella Dodge to keep composed. But because Coach Weekly used that challenge so early in the game, I think that's probably why she didn't burn her other one right now. Never know which way it can go.
Just 1 challenge remaining after it was an unsuccessful challenge on the offensive end for Tennessee. So Yamas aboard with the fielder's choice. Maddie George takes up and in 2-0. George, one of the 6 freshmen on this Ole Miss roster. He's made a lot of progress. She came into the fall. Jamie Traxel said she really wanted it. And had a great relationship with Percy Yamas, who's over at first base, who really helped bring George up to some of these high ranks you now see among SEC freshmen.
And for your 3 and 4 batter to both be underclassmen and have some of the most composed at-bats, that gets you excited as a coach for not only their earlier years, but their entire career. It is so hard as a freshman going against the best of the best, the elite pitching in the SEC, to stay composed when you're not having success. But Maddie George always learns from previous at-bats.
She lines it right off of Newer into right field to put 2 Rebels aboard in the 4th.
You're definitely going to see the catcher Elsie Morrison and the umpire take a look at Aaron Newer. Maddie George got all of that pitch. She pulled something on the outside corner, staying through it. It was hard to tell if it got Newer's ankle or her foot. She just gave Coach Weekly a thumbs up to not fully come out of the dugout, so you know she's okay. But when you hit the ball hard, like we've been saying all weekend long, good things happen. You get runners on base.
Good to see that Newer's all right. She'll take a couple of warm-up pitches as Maddie George delivers a strong single to bring the tying run to the plate for Ole Miss here in the fourth. The Rebels with 2 hits in the game. Those have both come here in the top of the fourth.
It seems like the bats have woken up for both sides. Maybe it's just Sundays in the SEC. Usually that's when you do see a lot of runs scored. We didn't expect it because both teams had only used in one pitcher each night.
You spent many Sundays in the SEC. Is there something different about it? What's the deal?
It really is where it shows the heart and the fight of a team, because it shows that if you're down like Tennessee was coming into this game, how you can turn things around. But also if you're Ole Miss, you have those 2 wins showing that emotional maturity that a team that you're playing is going to show up differently every single day. So either way it goes, it is tough to play on Sundays in the SEC, and Coach Weekly always says you're going to see a different team every single day.
Got to go out and earn it. No doubt about that. Couple of pinch runners into the game for Ole Miss. Cassidy Patterson is at second. Alexa Rosales at first. As Cassie Reesner stands in. Ball and no strikes on Reesner. Grounded out her first time up. And is trying to put Ole Miss on the board. Off speed in there for a strike. Up the middle, Faw to second. Turn won't be in time. There are 2 out of the inning.
Just another good job by Faw to charge this ball on the hop, going to get the better hop. But that toss is really difficult when you're towards the front of second base to make sure that you stay down. Yesterday, you saw Ella Dodge on the other side of second base. Her toss got away from her because her chest started to stand up a little bit. But Bella Faw, we mentioned it earlier in this game, she is so smooth at shortstop. I've played with her, I've practiced with her a ton. I've seen her make some of the best plays I've ever seen playing the game of softball.
Karen Weekly didn't blink when she came in as a freshman and said Bella Faw's got a chance to be the best defensive shortstop to ever wear the orange and white. That is high praise given some of the All-American players that have played that position. So the defensive end certainly not in question when it comes to Bella Faw's. Made a couple of nice plays here in the fourth. As Aaron Newer will try to strand 2 aboard. She faces Rachel Connors here in the 6th spot. And Connors takes ball 2. Most traffic Ole Miss has had today. Aaron Newer, the sophomore, who's gotten stronger as her career has progressed. Someone who Karen Weekly says is really good at responding. She can kick it into gear when she needs to, doesn't make excuses, now trying to bear down and leave runners on the corners to preserve a 3-run lead.
And she said Aaron Newer from year 1 to year 2 just got sick of not going out there and playing freely and pitching freely. And you can really see that adjustment that she has made just going right at batters.
She's going to get out of the inning unscathed. Fall takes care of it herself. And Aaron Newer is through 4 clean for Tennessee, who will try to add to its 3-0 lead. That one cloud might be the only one we've seen this weekend. A crisp, great weekend for softball in Knoxville. Another standout year in the SEC. Half the top 10 represented the Southeastern Conference, more than half, with 6 teams there. And Riley, you got to go out and earn it every day in the SEC, no question.
And a lot of these teams are in the rubber match today on SEC Sunday. Oklahoma and LSU in the rubber match. Florida and Arkansas both on this list going for that rubber match. We've been talking about it all day long that the SEC on Sundays is tough, and all those top 10 teams will be battling it out today.
Including Tennessee in a battle, trying to win its first game of the weekend. Bella Fall leads off the home fourth after a nice defensive top half. By the way, #1 Texas, defending national champs. You see that Reese Atwood pickoff last night? No look to third?
That is something that catchers around the country need to look at and see how to do. That was the smoothest I have ever seen. She got up looking like she was going to throw it right back to the pitcher and then snapped it down to third. But that's why she got that golden ticket as well, getting her punch to the AUSL, as well as Leanne Good, Nigel Kennedy. 3 golden tickets have been given out thus far this season.
Yeah, Kim Eng, who runs the AUSL, former general manager of the Miami Marlins, was on site in Austin, had the big ceremonial golden ticket, kind of like when you get a big check for something, to let Reese Atwood know that that opportunity is available. But down in Austin, they're trying to repeat. Texas taking out Texas Tech in the National Championship Series a year ago. It's Bella Fall. Takes strike 3. Lily Witten picks up her second punch out in relief.
And Witten, since she has come in, has really honed in that curveball on the outside corner, one of her best pitches. And the umpires, 1 through 3 innings, have a tighter zone. 4, 5, 6, 7, they start to widen it. And you can see Lily Witten really emphasizing that outside corner to those right-handed batters and using the umpire to her strength.
Umpire just jumps out of the way there. That's Michael Bartling down the third baseline. Robert Penikoff calling the balls and strikes. Michael's got a future in the matrix if he wants it. Brett Higgins, the crew chief, is down over at first. They've been here all weekend. Top of the order for Tennessee, Sophia Knight in search of her first hit here in this series finale. Lays off 1-1. A small transfer class, Tennessee brought in 2026, just 3 transfers, and Knight is one of them, coming out of Boise State, where she set conference records in the Mountain West last year for the Broncos. A couple of hops, Riesner gloves it, but there's no play as the speedy Knight reaches with her first hit of the day.
And Coach Weekly, when we talked to her this week, said that she is expecting more from Sophia Knight. Yes, her numbers are phenomenal, hitting above 430, but she wants to see her get even better in SEC play. She has 3 tools to go to: soft slap, hard slap, and standing in the box. That time, she goes to that chop slap, and with her speed, if she puts the ball in play, she can make a lot happen.
Someone who Karen Weekly said could be a true triple threat at the top of the order, with a lot of versatility and certainly plenty of speed. Jamie Traxel is out of the Ole Miss dugout to talk things over. The Rebels had some action out in the bullpen. Nancy Evans going to take a peek. He perhaps get a pitching change. That is Kyra Aycock, who threw a complete game, got the win yesterday. She will get the call. Aycock entering for the Rebels, trying to keep it a 3-0 game in Knoxville. Lily Witten exits for Ole Miss, an inning plus in the circle. She is responsible for Sophia Knight over at first. So Witten exits and will give the ball to Kyra Aycock, who pitched yesterday. Aycock, through the complete game in the circle for Ole Miss, picked up the win. Got her 9th win of the year. Gave up 6 hits, 1 run came across unearned. Walked 3 and struck out 2 for that series clinching victory, and someone Tennessee saw a lot of pitches from yesterday.
They did, but they didn't make an adjustment. So for today, Tennessee really has to see that ball up. Kyra Aycock, similar to Emily Boyer, who started this game, is going to work that down ball in the zone, really rely on her defense to make plays behind her. But it was interesting, Ole Miss went to that up ball pitcher, Lily Witten, and Tennessee took her out of the game pretty quickly. Now, going back to that down ball, really trying to force Tennessee to put the ball in the air versus on the ground.
It's Ella Dodge who awaits a 1-0 and takes strike 1. Dodge 0 for 2, but a couple of hard hit balls. One of the loudest bats in the order for Tennessee. On the 1-1, Dodge takes ball 2.
When you talk about emotional maturity, these are the days when you are seeing the ball well, you are hitting the ball hard. Dodge has 2, like you said, loud line drive outs, but to be able to stay composed, not let that get to you, because line drives don't show up in the stat book.
Off the end of the bat, Aycock to second. The throw was high and not in time. So everybody is safe as Sophia Knight speeds in.
And with the speed of Knight, Dodge knows if she puts the ball in play, she can make something happen. This is almost like a slapper chopping the ball into the ground, but Knight so quick reading the ball off of Dodge's bat. And then because Aycock put the ball in the air a little bit too high, just gave Sophia Knight enough time to sneak that foot in there.
So Dodge reaches for the first time. Knight's in scoring position after the fielder's choice.
And Mayan, softball is a very weird game. Dodge puts 2 great swings on the ball earlier in the game, and then the one swing that she probably would say is not her best of the 3 at-bats is the one she gets on from.
Yeah, funny how that always happens, right? How do you separate that in your head and you try to not worry about all of it?
It is really difficult to do, but Ella Dodge, she's only a redshirt sophomore. She is young, but because she's that redshirt, she got that extra time here at Tennessee. She came during my senior year for the spring season, learned a lot, and I think that has really helped her to be a leader on this team, vocally, in the box, in every way, because she has a lot of experience, even though she's still young class-wise.
She is one of the players who returns a lot of experience, like you mentioned, as Alana Leach grounds into a double play. Pickens put on the tag, Yama slammed the foot, and just like that, the inning is over. And there is no challenge upcoming, so the Rebel defense does it again here in the 4th. yet another double play from this Ole Miss Rebel defense, and Riley gets him out of the fourth unscathed.
Tennessee has done this 2 days in a row where on a ball to the second baseman, the runner, this time Ella Dodge, does not stop and try and get into a pickle. So in a sense, you are running yourself right into an out. The goal of that runner is to get in a pickle and give your batter enough time to get to first. Ella Dodge running into that today, Sophia Knight yesterday. That's kind of when they're showing their youth just a little bit. But it's so tough when you're running into outs like that to keep the momentum going. But then kudos to Ole Miss of being heads up. Mackenzie Pickens 2 days in a row with that same exact play of understanding she has time based on the speed of direction to tag one runner and throw the next one out.
So Ole Miss has turned a double play in every game here this weekend, and that double play there in the fourth could have been the difference between runners on the corners with a couple out in the heart of the order. And a clean sheet now going into the fifth. Still 3-0 Tennessee. The Lady Vols scored all 3 of their runs back in the third on an Elsa Morrison bases clearing double as Erin Newer goes back to work. Gets a weak ground ball, backhanded by Butt, but there is no play. Caught her on the palm, and Leilana Applin is aboard to lead off the Rebel fifth.
Mackenzie Butt has been very busy there at the hot corner, kind of had some bobbles there. This time Applin inside outs the ball, and with the hop, it did get right into the palm of Butt, but because of the position she's playing off the line and back, it makes it for a tough play getting to first.
Brings Megan Rhodes-Smith out of the Tennessee dugout, and the Lady Vols will make a call to the pen. The 2-time reigning SEC Pitcher of the Year, Carlin Pickens, comes on in the fifth. The day wraps up for the Tennessee sophomore Erin Newer, who goes 4+ in the circle. Responsible for that runner on first. Went for an extra scoreless for Tennessee to keep a 3-run lead on the board, and she passes the baton to the flamethrower, Carlin Pickens, who threw the complete game yesterday in a losing effort, but it was a dazzling 7 innings for Pickens, who gave up just 1 earned run, 2 hits, and struck out 6. And now inherits a runner on and quickly gets a runner into scoring position. Wild pitch moves Applin to second.
We don't often talk about how hard it is to transition behind the plate from one pitcher to the next, and then the second pitcher being the hardest thrower in the game. So Elsa Morrison, the freshman, just dealing with this up pitch from Carlin Pickens, but Applin taking advantage. Carlin Pickens throws so fast that Elsa Morrison was able to recover, get the ball, and almost make it a close play at second base.
2 balls and no strikes on a pinch hitter, Liesl Osteen. Osteen, the junior, coming in off the bench, UCLA transfer. Her first season now in Oxford. The 2-0, Osteen takes a strike, 75+ over the heart. Two and 2. Carlin Pickens, the sensational senior for Tennessee, the All-American, back-to-back reigning SEC Pitcher of the Year. Missed 10 days with a mild arm strain earlier this season, came back at the tail end of the Mississippi State Series. Suffered a couple of losses down in Gainesville last weekend, but does get back and bounces back with a K there.
And there's been times where it hasn't been able to show that Carlin Pickens missed 10 days because she has at-bats where she comes in and does things like that. She works her high heat the entire at-bat and just spots it on the corners. But yesterday, she had her best at-bats against left-handed batters, utilizing that inside corner. She struggled to find the outside corner for a strike. So today, if she can start on that inside corner and then slowly throughout the at-bat work it out, she will have a lot more success, even though she had a ton of success yesterday.
Pound in the zone here, 0-2 on Taylor Malvin. It was a tough luck loss yesterday for Carlin Pickens. Similar scenario for Sage Margetko at 12 strikeouts on Friday night. Ole Miss did a good job just putting the ball in play against the flame-throwing right-hander. One bounce to third. Clark's got it. And there are two down here in the fifth.
And just quick work for Carlin Pickens. Emma Clark, we haven't seen her at third base this series, but she's been doing a great job there. On a slapper, she's already playing in, but understanding that when Malvin chops the ball, puts it in the air a little bit, she doesn't have much time but to get it out with that accurate throw.
Top of the order, Kennedy Bunker. To first, no trouble. And Carlin Pickens retires all three that she faces and strands a runner aboard. 3-0 Tennessee off to the home fifth. All right, number 2, Texas and South Carolina start a big 3-game baseball series Thursday night at Founders Park in Columbia, and we'll have it for you right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Coverage beginning at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Texas coming off of a big series against Oklahoma, a walk-off win for the second straight day yesterday to win that series against the Sooners. Tough start to SEC play for South Carolina, who's made a coaching change in Columbia. So that'll be a big series coming up in the heart of conference play. As Tennessee here at home tries to salvage a game and not get swept at home. In front 3-0 as we head to the home fifth. All 3 runs coming back in the bottom of the third. Kyra Aycock back to work. And ahead 0-2 on the cleanup hitter, Emma Clark.
And I just know Coach Weekly in Tennessee is talking about they've scored 3 runs, but they need to try and scratch across a few more.
Reasoner's been solid. Long throw from short is smooth and silky. One down.
And going back to my point of scoring more, having played for Coach Weekly, I know she's demanding that they score more against Aycock because they weren't able to put runs on her yesterday. Same with Boyer, because they scored their runs today off Lily Witten, that up ball pitcher. So the adjustment that she needs to see to finish this weekend would be against a down ball pitcher.
Gabby Leach gets plunked on the first offering. So Leach aboard for the first time today.
And sometimes when you're struggling up at the plate, haven't been on, and you'll take it. You'll take anything, especially a hit by pitch, just to give your team a runner on base.
Mackenzie Butt's been aboard twice today. A couple of walks at the plate for the Boise State transfer. Freshman All-American last season. She was the Mountain West Freshman of the Year.
There's that changeup that was working so well for Aycock yesterday. It doesn't even always have to be spotted as a strike, because at the end of the day, it throws the timing off of the batters. And then when they get that hard and down, they're out in front and tend to roll over.
She did a nice job of that yesterday. Got 10 ground ball outs from this Tennessee offense after Emily Boyer got 13 ground outs on Friday night in the series opener. Here's the 2-1. Big cut that comes up empty, 2-2. What's the adjustment, Riley, that needs to be made against the down ball pitcher?
It really has to be sinking that back knee below the ball. You can't drop your barrel and get a good swing on it, because sometimes that causes flare balls. You have to get level with it, try and hit a line drive, a low line drive. Line drives don't fail you. You might be like Ella Dodge, have a few line drives caught, but at the end of the day, one of them is going to fall, and then 1+1, and then the entire team is hitting well.
Counts run full. But bounces it to short. Reasoner to first. And there are 2 out.
Just a great job by Aycock that entire at-bat, working that changeup, got Mackenzie Butt to chase the down ball, and then because of that changeup throwing with the timing, messing with the timing of Butt, when she got the hard and fast, she was way out in front and then roll over on it.
The ruling on the field is the runner did not leave early at first base. Ole Miss.
Elsa Morrison coming to the plate for Tennessee. This is what she did her last time up. The base is loaded, the freshman delivered, Riley.
Coach Weekly said that the moment for Elsa does not depend on how high or how low she is and how she's able to come through. In that moment, she was able to stay composed and put a great swing on the ball.
So she drove home all 3 runs for Tennessee back in the 3rd. That's where we are now. Ole Miss is challenged whether Gabby Leach left first base early. It's the first challenge Jamie Traxel has issued today. You start with 2. If you win it, you keep it. And the call on the field was that Leach did not leave early.
Leach was practically sliding into the bag when Cassie Reasoner fielded that ball from Mackenzie Butt. And Mackenzie Butt, it wasn't hit super soft where Reasoner had to charge. See if that left foot, yeah, she is off the bag before the ball is out of the hand of Aycock. So it'll be a better angle to see it. And right there, Leach is no longer on the bag, and the ball seems to still be in Aycock's hand. Right about there, yep. So if they're seeing what we're seeing, Leach will probably be out.
Yeah, likely an out. I'm right there with you, Riley, and that will clear the inning for Ole Miss. Tennessee's runner in scoring position should be erased. Here's Brett Higgins, the moment of truth.
After review, the runner is left early. She is out. That's the 3rd out of the inning. That's Ole Miss's first challenge. They have one remaining. Actually,
Two outs here in the inning. That ball in play by McKenzie, but it is a dead ball scenario. It does not count. And so the count is full. And here is a 3-2. Base is empty, 2 down. And Butt draws the walk. And so Riley, after that review, interesting situation because the ball was put into play, but that out does not count. It's technically a dead ball, and so that brought McKenzie Butt back to the plate, and she walks her way aboard.
No matter how many times you watch a game or how many times you play a game, you always see something new happen. Where McKenzie Butt, the umpire said third out of the inning, she kind of walked in the dugout, had to get her stuff back on, keep her helmet on, and then come with the 3-2 count. But just a great job, her third walk of the game, of being able to stay composed through all the chaos of that leaving early, the umpire's call, and everything in between.
Yeah, there was a lot of chaos and confusion. Ole Miss stayed out on the field. They weren't exactly sure what was going on. Craig Snyder came out of the Tennessee dugout to make sure that everybody was on the same page. Quick conversation between the umpires, and everything was all straightened away. So as it is, Gabby Leach was out at second, and McKenzie Butt takes her spot at first as Elsa Morrison stands in for Tennessee, and Karen Weekly may go to the bench for a pinch runner here.
The umpires today hard at work. A lot of changes, a couple replay reviews.
There's a lot going on. As Maddie Rutan, who comes out of the Tennessee dugout.
With Rutan replacing Butt, you'll probably expect Rutan to stay in the game, then go to third next inning, and Emma Clark move over from third to first. So it works in both ways. Rutan has that athleticism and speed on the base path, but then can also stay in and play some good defense at third.
One 1-0 on Morrison. Pops it up. Right field. Rosales is there. And after all that, the inning is over without a run coming across. We head to the 6th. Ole Miss trails by 3. All roads lead to OKC, and that's what hangs in the balance. On our way towards handing out a national title. Later this summer, every pitch of the Women's College World Series on our ESPN family of networks. Tennessee's been to the Women's College World Series 9 times, including last season. Ole Miss went for the first time in 2025. Both in repeat bids here in 2026. The Lady Vols have established dominance over the last 2 decades, trying to turn that number into double digits and add the one piece that's missing from the mantle. That would be the elusive first national title. They've come close a couple of times. They have not broken through in what has been an SEC-dominated run with the additions of Texas and Oklahoma. You see there, second most trips to Oklahoma City without hoisting that ultimate hardware. Certainly something everybody is aware of, they know, but don't want to add to the pressure day to day, right, Riley?
It is tough to get to the World Series, but then it's tough to go back after you've been before, because you know how competitive and how hard it is to get there and what it takes. But it is no secret that Tennessee has not been able to capture that national championship. And starting this year for Tennessee, that 26-0 run, everyone's eyes was on Tennessee, saying that this pitching staff can really lead them to a national championship. But this series and the previous one against Florida has really kind of shown some of Tennessee's holes on the offensive side that will be a challenge in being able to get that trophy.
Kenzie Pickens draws a walk against Carlin Pickens to begin the Ole Miss 6th. Certainly have to have all facets of the game, the offense, pitching, and defense, to win that national title, which you've seen the last few seasons from the teams that have done it. Texas, the defending national champs, of course, the long run of dominance from Oklahoma. Karen Weekly said after the game yesterday, she's not opposed to the adversity that this team is facing right now, losing 2 games at home against Ole Miss. It is alumni weekend here in Knoxville. You're an alum. There's so many part of this program and laying the groundwork. And Karen Weekly's glad that they are around. They are in town. They are around the clubhouse this weekend in particular to be a little bit of a sounding board to what is still a really young team. No all-SEC offensive returners. You've got Carlin Pickens, but everyone else filling a bigger role for the first time. Karen Weekly feels like having that alumni base is really big. That is really big, and off the top of the wall, Yamas with a long single to put Rebels on the corners.
And Percy Yamas just getting better and better with her at-bats against Carlin Pickens this entire weekend. Coach Trax always says she doesn't show much emotion. She didn't there, but what she did show was that she was not going to let a mistake pitch over the plate get away from her. She stayed through the ball. Those knocking knuckles lined up at contact, which allows you to hit a line drive. Sophia Knight, the center fielder, did a great job of not crashing towards the wall, playing it off the bounce to make sure runners stay on the corners.
On the corners, nobody out for Maddie George, the heart of this Ole Miss order. This is Ole Miss's best opportunity, best start to an inning. As the Rebels try to claw out of a 3-run deficit with 6 offensive outs left. One ball and 1 strike.
And if there's a time for Ole Miss to tie the game, it is right now with the heart of their order, their most composed batters. They've had some pretty great at-bats, and this is their 2nd time seeing Pickens throughout the weekend, so they already have a ton of information using their eyes.
It's their leading home run hitter, the freshman Maddie George, who stands in a big moment. George does have a hit today. Tries to deliver the first Rebel base hit with a runner in scoring position. Ole Miss has never swept Tennessee. They're winning a series in Knoxville for the first time in program history with the win yesterday. And looking for a come-from-behind exclamation point. 2-2. High in the air, center field and deep. Knight's going back. It is gone! Maddie George goes yard and ties the game in the 6th.
Maddie George, the freshman, has been pulling through this entire year for Ole Miss. She does the same thing as Percy Almas before her. She gets that up pitch, a missed pitch by Carlin Pickens, and because Pickens supplies the power, all she has to do is stay on the ball, but she hit that ball a long ways. Tennessee's center field is 220, and that went much further than this. My favorite part of Maddie George is her composure, and she doesn't show emotion, but right there you can see how much this home run means to her and her team, putting her team in a position to go for the sweep, tying the game. But stepping up in the biggest moment, the 6th inning against a 2-time All-American Carlin Pickens. Maddie George, have yourself an at-bat.
She has announced herself to the SEC. Maddie George ties the game with a 3-run homer, and just like that, we begin anew. Nobody out here in the 6th. Cassie Reisner standing in for Ole Miss. And Carlin Pickens try to slow things down in the circle. Came on in relief last inning. A walk, a single, and a homer. Maddie Rutan into the game at 3rd, who makes the play for the first out.
And I have to go back to that 3-4 batter. Almas and Maddie George and them being young in their youth. And a lot of times when you're facing an All-American pitcher like Carlin Pickens, you tend to want to see a pitch or two when they come into the game. And both of them, as soon as Carlin Pickens missed on practically the same pitch, they put their best swing on the ball. So they have such a bright future for the rest of this season, but the rest of their careers at Ole Miss.
Goes back to what you mentioned earlier. Carlin Pickens doesn't miss very often. You get the one opportunity against an All-American arm. And they both took advantage in a long, loud way. And now Ole Miss has quieted the raucous crowd and evened the game at 3. 0-2 on Rachel Connors. Who's down on strikes for Pickens' 2nd strikeout.
You really play with fire when you compete and score runs off of Carlin Pickens, because she comes back even more fired up against you. This time, 3 straight pitches, fastballs down in the zone. She didn't let Connors breathe on that at bat, but that happens after she's a competitor and gives up that big hit.
6th home run Carlin Pickens has given up this season. And this one ties the game in the 6th. Maddie George hits her 10th of the year to lead the Rebels back to a tie game. Pickens pounded the zone, 0-2 on Applin. Another 0-2. Strike 3 swinging, back-to-back strikeouts for Carlin Pickens. But the Rebels do the damage. A 3-run shot from the freshman Maddie George. We are all squared in the home 6th. Oh, here we go. All tied up going to the bottom of the 6th. Ole Miss and Tennessee in the series finale. So how did it all happen? Well, the Lady Vols got 3 runs back in the 3rd. The freshman Elsa Morrison delivered a bases clearing double. And then in the top of the 6th, the freshman Maddie George, a game-time 3-run homer, her 10th of the year, to make it a 3-3 game. Plenty of arms in action, and that was the passionate speech from Karen Weekly between innings. Riley, what do you think the message to her offense is?
Well, she said it yesterday when she talked to us, nothing you can do but respond. And I think that's exactly what she told the team. That inning is over, the 3-run home run that Colin Pickens gave up. You can't take it back. All they have to do now is respond and compete to the best of their ability.
So we are all tied now, going to the bottom of the 6th. Maddie George delivers her team-high 10th home run of the year and the biggest moment of her SEC career. Very, very early in it. And just a glimpse at the very bright future.
Maddie George just got better and better throughout the series. Not that she was having bad at-bats, but she slowly started to put more barrel on the ball, and then when it mattered most, getting the most barrel, hitting that ball a long ways out of here. And that's hard to do when you're facing 70 plus, to be timed up with it and put the perfect swing on it. But just a phenomenal at-bat. And a great job by freshmen all around today. Both of these runs were scored because freshmen were able to step up in the biggest moments.
Couple defensive changes for Ole Miss in the 6th. Tennessee will bring Savia Morgan to the plate. She came on a couple innings ago defensively to play left field. First action at the plate this week for the speedy Morgan, who's hustling down the line but can't win the foot race. There may be challenge, perhaps. I think Tennessee will challenge.
The ruling on the field is out. First base. That is being challenged by Tennessee. Plays under further review.
And it's always so close when you see it in fast motion from up here. I thought it was as close as you can get. But Savia Morgan, she led off for Tennessee a ton last year. Now her roles changed a little bit, so going to this move of starting with her this inning can give Tennessee maybe that spark that they need to score a run.
Call on the field was out, and there must be indisputable video evidence.
And I think that is why the call on the field matters so much, because to me, this looks like a potential tie. And because it was originally an out, I don't see any undisputable evidence to be able to overturn it. You can see right here, the ball is, I don't know, Mayan, that is so tough.
It's very close, and it feels like one where we may hear the language call stands as opposed to confirmed. Just the foot down before the ball is in the back of the mitt.
It is so tough to see, but it is really important for the runner to touch the front part of the bag with their toe. And the difference between safe and out for Savia Morgan right now is in that replay, her heel is hitting the front part of the bag. So as a batter, immediately when you hit the ball, you have to pick up the front of the bag with your eyes, and that will help your feet to be able to hit it perfectly. This is a game of inches.
Yeah, absolute inches, and in a big-time moment. Tied now to 6. Savia Morgan, you mentioned it. She started 59 games last year as a true freshman for Tennessee. Hit 340 at the top of the order, reserve role here in 2026. And here's the moment of truth.
After review, the call at first base stands. She is out. That is Tennessee's second challenge. They have no challenges remaining.
So with the call standing, that language tells us there was not enough to confirm the call or overturn it. So they had to revert with what the call on the field was, which was originally ruled it out. Tennessee now out of challenges, a tie game here in the bottom of the 6th with Savia Morgan, who grounds out. Tennessee will go to the bench again. It is Meredith Barnhart who enters. Barnhart had a single off the bench yesterday in game 2. Waves and misses at the first.
And she attacked early yesterday, and that's why she had success. But Kyra Aycock this time going with that changeup early, understanding that Barnhart comes in and does attack. So just a great pitch, spotting that changeup on the outside corner.
It's 1-1 on Barnhart, the true freshman out of Parker, Colorado. He's gotten into every game this weekend. 1-1. He's down and out, 2 balls and a strike. Kyra Aycock continues to work for Ole Miss. Came on a couple innings ago in relief. And now inherits a tie game. 2-2. Aycock's 2-2 pitch is strike 3, swinging. Got Barnhart in front, 2 down to the 6th.
Kyra Aycock stayed with that changeup the entire at-bat. Didn't have to change anything because Barnhart was early on it. She pulls that trigger on that change just a little bit and keeps it down. But what Barnhart has to do is keep those hands back as soon as that front foot is down. As soon as that front foot is down from this view, all she does is take her hands to the ball, and that's what elite hitters are able to do when they hit both speeds, is get in the hitting position, keep those hands back, and then just kind of poke it to the outfield sometimes.
Top of the order is Sophia Knight. He takes a strike, 1-1. Kyra Aycock, the Oklahoma State transfer, didn't throw too many innings for the Cowgirls last year. She was part of the all-freshman team in the Big 12 a few seasons ago. Certainly plenty of collegiate experience. For the 2nd straight day is handling herself well against 4th-ranked Tennessee. Count even, 2-2 on Knight. Sophia Knight's been a hit machine ever since she started college softball. Karen Weekly says she can hit in any count with confidence. On the 2-2, Knight works it full.
Knight using her eyes very well this at-bat. But Aycock has been doing an even better job of spotting this ball and understanding the count. There you can kind of see that power 4 experience of moving the ball further out when she was ahead, but now got to bring it with the 3-2.
Right side, tough play. Knight is safe. And the go-ahead run is aboard.
Sophia Knight this entire weekend has been putting barrel on the ball. She struggled earlier in this game, kind of rolling over, but their last 2 at-bats, keeping that front shoulder closed longer to be able to hit it more in the 3-4 gap or up the middle. That's a tough ball for Pickens, and also understanding the speed of Knight. It speeds you up as a defensive player, but now Tennessee runner on. She's got some speed. If Ella Dodge can send this in the gap, it could be a run for Tennessee.
Big cut that comes up empty for Ella Dodge. Redshirt sophomore who has been the clutch hitter for Tennessee today. With the go-ahead run aboard in the bottom of the 6th, the tie game. Can Dodge deliver again?
yes, Dodge is clutch, but the reason she's able to be clutch is because she buys fully into the plan and she knows exactly what pitch she wants. And when she gets it, she doesn't miss it. She puts her best swing on it.
She has hit a couple of hard balls today. So the line score not indicative of how well she's seeing it. 2-1 to Ella Dodge. Out in front, 2-2.
She's out in front because Kyra Aycock started her with that 60-mile-per-hour changeup. It's really hard as a batter when you're seeing hard and down, but also a change to distinguish what speed is what and to stay on the ball rather than rolling over.
2-2. Up the middle, Pickens steps on the bag, and the inning is over. Aycock evades the danger and retires Ella Dodge. We head to the 7th, all tied in Knoxville. On to the 7th in Knoxville, a tie game between Tennessee and Ole Miss. Even at 3 as we go to the last in this series finale between the Rebels and the 4th-ranked Tennessee Lady Volunteers. Ole Miss securing its first series win in Knoxville in program history with a win yesterday. They are trying to sweep the Lady Vols for the first time ever. Tennessee has not been swept at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium in nearly 2 decades.
And what a weekend it has already been for Ole Miss, but what a weekend it could be if they are able to get a go-ahead run here and then shut Tennessee's offense down on the other side. But in order to do that, you have to have a pass-the-bat mentality. Yes, Carlin Pickens gave up a home run last inning, but she doesn't give up very many home runs, so you can't expect as an offense for that to happen again. And here you can see Ryan Starr trying to just put some pressure on Tennessee's defense, showing bunt. But it's a tough task against a 2-time All-American to score runs as is.
0-2. Carlin Pickens, who after giving up the 3-run homer to Maddie George last inning, bounced back nicely, pounded the zone. Retired 3 in a row, coming off back-to-back strikeouts. And she adds another painted velocity from Pickens.
I mentioned it earlier, but you're playing with fire when you compete and score runs against Carlin Pickens. She has not let an Ole Miss batter get a good barrel on a bat since she gave up the home run. A couple strikeouts and a ground out. She is just on fire right now, and she has this different intensity ever since that home run.
Taylor Malvin in the 9 spot. 0-2. Strike three swinging. Pickens has another.
She is just so intense right now. Pitching that high 70s, strike after strike. As an Ole Miss batter, you really have to understand that she's in a groove, so get your barrel out early. You're not even seeing the normal fist pump. She's just going right at the very next batter.
That is down and foul, just barely, from Kennedy Bunker. Extra bases written all over it. Instead, it is a long strike.
And that was inches away from being fair. If she could just get that barrel out, like I said, a little bit more.
Down the right field line this time, quickly 0-2. 5 strikeouts in relief for Carlin Pickens today, including 4 in a row. Two-time All-American, reigning SEC Pitcher of the Year, looking for 5 in a row. In and out of the mitt. Oh, 2 pitch. No chase, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Meat of the order coming up for Tennessee. 3, 4, and 5 spots in the bottom of the 7th for the Lady Vols. Carlin Pickens trying to ensure the game remains tied. Her 1-2. Bunker, as she has many times this weekend, proving to be a tough out at the plate.
She has had some of the best at-bats throughout this entire season. She's seen so many pitches, provided a ton of information for the batters behind her. Even if she doesn't get a hit, she's really working the count and making pitchers put more innings on their arms.
Strike 3 swinging. Pickens changes speed. Pickens is pumped up. We head to the home 7th, all even.
Carlin Pickens is not playing around. She's going right at these Ole Miss batters. We're not getting that fist pump, but she has a different intensity about her right now.
We head to the bottom of the 7th, all tied at 3 between Tennessee and Ole Miss here in this SEC Series finale. It was the Lady Vols who jumped out to a 3-0 lead early before the Rebels got a big 3-run blast from Maddie George in the 6th. Tennessee has only lost once when scoring first. Alana Leach in the 3 spot, leads off for Tennessee. Kyra Aycock continues to work for Ole Miss. And the 1-0 pitch is popped foul. Leach, someone with great power, usually in attack mode, has put the barrel on the bat this weekend. And had the game-ending, the walk-off homer, run rule fashion on Tuesday night against Tennessee Tech. Does she have a flair for the dramatic again? 1-1 on the way, and Leach takes ball 2.
And Leach has moved her way up this lineup throughout the weekend. Good at bat after good at bat. Finds herself in the 3-hole today. So if you're Tennessee, this is exactly where you want to be in the bottom of the 7th, tied up.
Leach hard to the alley. That'll one hop off the wall. Extra bases for Alana Leach. The winning run in scoring position.
Alana Leach, like I just mentioned, the weekend that she's having, moved herself up throughout the weekend, uses that outside pitch, goes with it, lets the ball travel deep in the zone. You can see that ball gets inside of that front foot. That's the great contact point for an outside pitch. There's 2 things that supersede everything in hitting, and it's always contact point and bat speed. And Alana Leach has had the success she has had this weekend because she has always done those 2.
Leadoff double for Alana Leach. She represents the winning run as Tennessee tries to walk off Ole Miss. It is Emma Clark who comes to the plate next.
Number 13, Emma Clark.
Ball 1 to Clark.
And as much as a leadoff runner at second base hypes your team up, you really have to stay with the mentality of trying not to be the hero, but passing the bat. It's really easy to see that runner in front of you and to just want to have that big swing to get her home. But Emma Clark already doing a great job of choosing the pitch she wants, not going for some of those borderline pitches down in the zone.
Clark awaits the 2-0. 2-1.
And a really good pitch by Aycock. Missed it twice in a row, stayed with that off-speed down and just trusted it for the 3rd pitch. Now Emma Clark really going to have to pick a speed with 1 strike on her.
3-1. Clark's aboard for the 3rd time.
You know, that might be a walk for Aycock, but I don't mind it because now you set your defense up for a force out at 3rd base. And Aycock has done such a great job against left-handed batters of working that outside corner and inducing them to hit a ground ball. So putting that runner on is honestly a very smart move, whether that was intentional or not, because it sets them up for a force out at 3rd and then also a chance to turn a double play at 2nd.
Gabby Leach up next. After a quick meeting, Karen Weekly and Craig Snyder. Traxel a quick walk to talk to the Ole Miss infield as well. Leach, another consistent performer for the Lady Vols. And a walk-off 3-run homer earlier in conference play against LSU. Ball 1.
I'm a bit surprised to see that Leach is not squaring around to bunt right now. She's a slapper and can stand in to hit, so she has really good of that hands-eye coordination. And
She was fooled.
and with no outs, if she's able to move those runners, they can score runs in a multitude of ways with a runner on third. And at this point, you're just trying to scratch across one.
1-1 pitch. Leach takes ball 2. Aycock continues to work down. Popped up. Foul ground. Star space. And makes the catch.
And that is exactly why, in that situation, you want to try and bunt them over, because that was an unproductive out. You're left in the same situation with now 1 out. So you're kind of playing with fire of if giving up an out and moving a runner over doesn't do you much good, because then you'll be in a 2-out situation. But another great job of Kyra Aycock to keep her composure in this tough moment and just execute pitches. She executed that changeup down and then went in on the hands to Gabby Leach. So she's seeing 2 completely different speeds in 2 different quadrants, and that's why Aycock has been so effective.
Winning run still in scoring position as Mackenzie Butt swings and misses strike 1. 3 walks today for Butt, who has raw athletic power at the plate. Delivered in the clutch a few weeks ago, the pinch hit homer for an extra innings win down in Mississippi State. On the 0-1, Butt takes ball 1.
And that looks about the same exact spot from the pitch that she just swung at. You could see Coach Weekly down third baseline told her something, couldn't quite hear from up here, but definitely a cue for her to change her mindset and let that one go.
1-2. Aycock showing some absolute poise and maturity in the circle. Ahead 1 ball and 2 strikes on Mackenzie Butt. Tie game in the 7th. 1-2 pitch.
For Mackenzie Butt, a foul off on the ground. She knows Aycock is working down in the zone. She should be doing all she can to try and get her body in place to lift the ball, because she's been doubled up, especially in the last game yesterday. She really needs to get the ball off the ground.
Doesn't swing, and the count is full. Payoff pitch.
And what a battle between Aycock and Mackenzie Butt right now. Tie ball game, 7th inning, both staying composed. A lot on the line for both of them. And just pitch after pitch battling.
And Mackenzie Butt draws her 4th walk of the game. The winning run 60 feet away.
And what an at-bat that was. She fouled off pitch after pitch. Started with that changeup down that she was swinging and missing. But then Aycock tries to go in, something she hadn't seen. And immediately Butt is fired up. What a day for her. She might not have had a big hit, but 4 walks, just seeing the ball very well.
Elsa Morrison takes ball 1. Morrison drove home all 3 of Tennessee's run, a bases clearing double back in the 3rd. Two and 0. How do you attack if you're Aycock?
Well, you've put yourself in a pretty tough position, 2-0, and you can't walk the winning run home, so she's got to put the ball on the plate. Now, Elsa Morrison has to be really smart here of understanding it doesn't take a hit to score this run, so I need to choose the best pitch that gives me my best opportunity of hitting the ball to the outfield for one of those sacrifice flies. She can be pretty picky right now because Aycock is down. But Aycock in a tough position. This is where he really shows that heart we talked about, that fight. When your back's against the wall, what can you do?
2 balls, no strikes on the Tennessee freshman, Elsa Morrison. Hits it in the air, right field towards the corner. Applin will let it fall so the runner can't tag.
And that's about as heads up as it gets in the game of softball in a pressure situation. Applin moved over from left field to right field, understanding if she catches that ball, that's an easy RBI game winner for Tennessee. And to understand where the line was, look at the ball, and then understand that that ball dropped. She doesn't need the out. She just needs to give Aycock another chance.
2-1. Fouled away.
Now Aycock worked herself back in with the help of her defense. Smart play by Applin there in right field, but showing some fight right now.
Morrison awaits, 2-2.
We've seen Morrison throughout her at-bats in these tough situations. When she gets a 2-strike, going to that extension, fouling off anything that she can.
Break-even offer. And the spinning foul. Alana Leach led off the inning with a double. She's at third, representing the winning run. Elsa Morrison, the freshman, the Knoxville kid, top-ranked recruit in the state, stayed home to play for her hometown team, and now can deliver a walk-off win. 2-2 to Morrison.
And she is just getting a little bit of that ball. Both of these last swings, Aycock's taken a little something off of it, and Morrison's been able to just hit the tip of her bat on the ball. You can see them probably changing out balls because Morrison's probably scraping the paint off of it. But you can see Morrison, as soon as that foot gets down, she tries to keep her hands back just enough for her to get the edge of that ball.
Gloved at third, play at the plate. And Starr makes another shining play.
And wow, Starr at the hot corner. She is so smooth. That ball came off of Morrison's bat extremely hard. And then to understand the speed and direction and not rush that throw, you can see it. Morrison pulls that outside pitch. Starr being athletic, getting low for that ball. If it sneaks through, easy end to the ball game. But the composure of Ole Miss has been something that they've learned from going through that gauntlet of a schedule.
That gets by. No play at the plate. And everyone can exhale. There was a play at the plate yesterday where Tennessee had a runner caught trying to swipe an extra bag, and Emma Clark cautiously stays at third. And now Nancy Evans will talk things over with the Ole Miss infield.
And in Karen Weekly's post-game yesterday, she talked about the backstop at their home field being shorter than others. So if it hits that back wall, it can immediately come back. Yesterday, Maddie Rutan ran herself into an out because she hesitated twice coming in on it. So as soon as you hesitate as a runner, you have to understand that was your time to go. So Emma Clark, she paused, made the right decision by staying at third.
Clark represents the winning run at third. Base is still loaded for Tennessee, but now 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Ole Miss is trying to force extras here in the series finale. The Rebels trailed 3-0, have come from behind and played with fire in the 7th, but Kyra Aycock, can she come up again and get another out? She's done it trusting her defense behind her. Ryan Starr with a great play in the hot corner to keep the game going as Savia Morgan stands in. 1-0 to Morgan.
And Morgan, just having come into the game, didn't play the first 2 games. She played a lot last year. This has been the biggest moment of the year for her. And now she's in a good spot, 2-0, to pick out the pitch over the plate that she wants.
3 balls and no strikes. Winning runs to third with the bases loaded. Has to be a striker, it's over.
If you're Savia Morgan, she has to do it again. So I'm still looking over the heart of the plate. The pressure is on here. It is loud at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium.
That is the game. Morgan works the walk. Clark stomps on the plate, and Tennessee walks it off on Sunday.
Mayan, this has been one of the most anticlimactic ways of winning ball games from both sides. This time a walking run in. Savia Morgan comes in to this game and has one of the clutchest at-bats. Tennessee has not been swept at home since 2008, and today was all about showing your heart and your fight, and that's what they were able to do. It came down to the last pitch.
So Tennessee able to work a win and stave off a sweep. Lady Vols pick up their 30th win of the season. Move to 7-5 now in SEC play. Ole Miss wins the weekend, taking the first 2 games, and can certainly take a lot of confidence to the rest of their SEC slate. Tennessee a 4-3 winner here in the series finale for Riley West, our entire outstanding crew led by Catherine Ligon and Austin Taylor today. Mayan Patel saying so long from Knoxville, where the Lady Vols win on a walk-off walk at home.